So obviously, we got to talk about what Jalen's thinking in this second right there. Yeah, pause it there. What are you thinking right there? You see the ball come out. Is that just like a, oh, shit, or is it just reaction to no thought at all? Like, kind of take me through what you're thinking when that ball pops out.
So it was a point in time like where the ball was in the air and I kind of was just looking straight at the punter and everybody tackling him. And I didn't even notice the ball was kind of floating. Then I look up a little bit and the motherfucker's coming down right in my hands. So I stuck my hand out and grabbed it.
So it got on you. It kind of like just came on you.
It kind of came on me. Like, it would have been some real clumsy shit. Like, if I couldn't. But, like, thankfully, like, it came down. You know, I peeped it out kind of last minute. And then as it rolled on, I got it. And I saw the guy.
I'm gone at this moment, by the way. I don't know what that is.
Anyway, this is when I blacked out. Right here, right at the 21
But I come
yard
back
line.
in at the 10. But, yeah, sorry, Jalen. This is your stage here.
I catch the ball, and I look straight up at the clock. Like, oh, shit. Like, we got 6 seconds left. So I start running, but, like, I can also see the Michigan guy. And Jermaine is in between us, but Jermaine, if you go back a little bit, you see, he was staring at me at first the whole time.
Oh, yeah. So I never noticed that before.
So I'm kind of trying to give it to him, like turn around. So we running. I'm kind of peeping the guy, my head is directly looking towards out of bounds. I see Jermaine pick up the block. So from here, I don't even see Jake Butt running. I just see all white. And from here, I'm thinking like,
yeah, you're home. You're home free.
Yeah, I gotta go score.
Jake Butt closing that was seriously like Tayshaun on Reggie Miller.
Yeah,
right?
it really is.
I mean, even
Just
with
that
the
last second little burst, like,
even with the obstruction that you had to get around, like I can't believe he closed that. If you
it's
are
a big
watching,
spider right behind your neck.
Seriously,
get up, turn around.
Spider. I'm good. I'm not worried about spiders.
Spider-Man.
This is the most guests we've ever had. Now we have another one that wasn't scheduled.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ben, can you fire it back up when right at the end? So a couple back seconds if you can. But when you have 3 or 4 seconds left, is there any thought to going down, stepping out of bounds? Because if you step out right here, there's going to be 2 seconds left, at least one. I mean, the game's not going to end if you step out right here. It's like a 27-yard field goal to win. Like, or were you thinking the whole way, like, I'm scoring?
No. I definitely was not thinking the whole way, I'm scoring. It literally was when Jermaine kind of turned his head and picked up the block that I'm like I said, I can only see all white. I'm like, man.
And one of the biggest misconceptions, and it actually came up a few times at the event in July, is people think that the dog pile is what got your hip broken, but it was Jake Butt's hit, right?
Yeah, it was the tackle. When he tackled me, my knee kind of went straight into the ground. And, what goes down, I guess, comes right back up, popped my hip right out of there.
I don't know who it was that got in your face.
You kind of just see, like, I kind of got the little limp leg right there. My cleat is off. I don't know what's going on.
Where is that ball? That's the other question I wanted to ask. So
Coach D has that ball at the moment right now.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a mystery that was solved in 2 seconds. I've always wondered, because I see you throw it. I'm like, somebody retrieved that thing.
Yeah.
You kind of did a Mike Evans, like, kind of threw it away, but I don't blame you. I probably thought you were going to die.
Man, I was not thinking about that damn ball.
Yeah.
Like, instantly, as soon as I hit the ground, like, I could tell by everybody cheering that I scored, but I'm like, oh my God. Like, I self-diagnosed myself. Like, I just broke my hip.
Was there 1% of you in that moment? There's poor Chris. We'll get to Chris next. Was there 1% of you that was like, oh shit, I just won the game? Or was it 100% like, I get the stretcher? I can't even imagine that pain. I've never had an injury like that.
I feel like there must have been a moment, there must have been shock there. Right, just because of the trauma of that.
Well, I feel like I didn't even get to fully go through my shock because I kind of was almost suffocated at first too. Like right after, it was almost like boom, hip hop out, suffocation.
Yeah, then there's like 10 dudes on top of you.
Yeah. So like I don't know, like I can remember. I remember it all. Like I know I didn't black out or anything, but man, it was a crazy moment.
Is it hard for you to watch? I think I asked you this the first time we
More
met.
so when it first happened, especially since they played it every other commercial for like 2-3 months. When it first happened, every time it happened, I just like cringe a little bit, like
Yeah.
And then I always used to make this joke with pretty much all of them, honestly, because as you can see, it was 5 people right there, 5-6 people.
Yeah.
And nobody turned around and picked up Jake Butt on the little quick block.
Good point, too.
But Brandon Sowards, I always make fun or kind of joke with him because he was kind of like turned backpedaling. I'm like, damn, Sowards, you couldn't have picked him up for me real quick. We could have danced in the end zone.
Yeah.
You know?
You had
All he had to do, I mean, that's him right there doing that little
karaoke.
Yeah, little karaoke right there.
And then, like Justin says, like this little close right here, like when I go back and watch, I'm like, damn, he put the burners on for that little.
Oh, it's incredible. He's like 9 yards behind you. And he closed it. I mean, you did have to have that little pause to get around. What's his nuts on Michigan there?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, not Jermaine.
I don't even know.
Yeah. Blake O'Neal's the only famous Wolverine from that play that was on the field. Let's get to the other famous Wolverine in the stands that day. So there you are. There's Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Like I said before the show, I'm sure I've made worse, like dumber faces than that. It just I've been horrified many times in my life by sporting events. So, at Michigan's hands, this Trey Burke stealing from Keith Appling ring any bells thing, right? Yeah. That to me, that's still the worst thing that's ever happened in Keith Appling's life. I don't care. But anyway, take me through. You're in the stands, crosses the goal line. We see your reaction. We know what you looked like. What's going on between the ears there? Are you just horrified?
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure I have much of an idea what was going through my head. I remember the ball, Jalen and everything coming right at us, right at the student section. So, I mean, the cameraman, he doesn't deserve too much credit. Like, you looked up from where the play happened. I was probably right there. And we've already talked about how tall I am, like, stand out from the crowd. But so I remember looking at the clock and thinking, whether he gets tackled or goes out of bounds, like, is there enough time? The tackle was close. That if it's, a yard closer, maybe you get the Spartan Bob going the other way.
Hit down,
right? And the clock runs out. Or, even thinking, okay, it was 2-point lead. So field goal, field goal's going to sink us too. And then after it happened, honestly, I don't know. I feel like it was shock in a different way. I don't putting my hands on my head was not scripted. I didn't think if this ever happens, I'm going to do this and be famous from it or whatever. So, I just remember silence around me. A couple of my friends you can see behind me and next to me, just kind of sitting down, just the ultimate feeling of defeat, right? And eventually, after a half hour, maybe even, I feel like nobody moved for such a long time. Usually, at the end of a game, win or lose, people are quickly piling for the exits, right? They're ready to go to Charlie's or Rick's or Skeep's, whatever. And nobody was moving and nobody was saying anything, just complete silence.
Yeah,
I was under the stampede, like in Lion King, just under the stampede of people, damn.
Trampled by the wildebeest.
Man, I can't. All I could just hear was just helmets clacking against each other because everybody, you can literally go back and see people running and just diving into the pile. Shit. Yeah,
there's raw video of one of your teammates. I don't know who it is, and we didn't pull it, but someone is standing over you. Man, get your ass up and celebrate!
Meet.
Was that
that's where I think a lot of people realized
it was bad.
that there was an injury.
That wasn't even the worst of it, honestly. It's once everybody got off of me and the trainers finally got to me. I think it was Dave Yeager. He was the first trainer there, and he comes up to me my leg is up, I got my leg kind of propped up because I couldn't move it. And he grabs my knee and goes, "You did it, buddy," and kind of gives it a little shake. I'm like, "Oh my God, stop touching that!"
It's unbelievable.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's just I cannot believe.
Of all the things, came right up to my knee and just gave it a little nudge, you did it. I'm like, oh my God.
I can't imagine the celebration you would have had if you had just not been hurt on that play. It would have been like Rod Tidwell during where Connor Cook kind of did do the Rod Tidwell, scaling the brick wall and getting into the crowd. And is it Shelton that jumped in there
Shelton.
too? RJ
Shelton.
Dunked the field goal post, something special.
You had to be crazy.